What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the single type cup running a triple snake theme team consisting of Serperior in the lead, Arbok as the safe swap, and Seviper as the closer. Now I actually had a ton of success with this team, going 20-5 on the day and gaining over 200 elo, but just to be clear, due to constantly running full spice teams, my starting elo was very low, actually just under 2000 elo, so don't think this team is going to help you push for legend or anything, but if you're also at a fairly low elo, maybe it will put in some work for you. With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What's your favourite snake or serpent-like Pokemon in Pokemon Go? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead into a Shadow Machamp, so I've got two poison types in the back. I'm going to say swap into Arbok, but the opponent responds with a Registeel instantly, so more likely they were just safe swapping into the Registeel as well, but Registeel is a massive core breaker for the team, but we do at least live one Zap Cannon from full health, although that does get us very low. They might even be able to lock on farm me down. I go for an Acid Spray here, making sure that Dark Pulse will do a ton of damage to the Registeel if they let it go through, which they do, and the opponent doesn't commit to the farm down. It would have been very close, but this makes my life so much easier, as now I can come in with my Serperior, go for a full Vine Whip farm down. The opponent knows that, so they swap back into Shadow Machamp. I respond with my Seviper, gonna have to shield this up. They did farm to a Rock Slide, they bait with a Cross Chop, but honestly Cross Chop would still do a ton of damage. Both Pokemon here are very glassy. We go for a Poison Fang, we undercharge it in case they let it go through. Probably still would have taken them out anyways, but now I'm gonna use my second shield here. We get the farm down, and let's see what the opponent has in the back. They wait out the switch clock before coming in with a Meganium, so I can go for a Poison Fang here. This is a really good matchup, but we are so low on health. A Frenzy Plant will easily one-shot me, so I swap into Serperior here, trying to catch a move. Not able to do so, but they have to throw their energy anyways, so they go for the Frenzy Plant. It does not do much damage. They are at least debuffed in their defense, so my Frenzy Plant does so much more damage. They swap out, they try to catch a charge move or something, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter. We can now go for the Frenzy Plant into Meganium. We take them out there, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Serperior into Meganium, so another battle of the bulky grass-type starters. I'm going to stay in this matchup initially. Both of us can't really hit for any meaningful damage, so I'm just going to bank a ton of energy, swap into my Arbok, and we bait out a Haxorus. And this is actually a really good matchup, as we are running Dragon Tail whilst they're running counter. So I'm able to fully Dragon Tail, farm them down with fast moves. We go for an Acid Spray into Meganium. They did debuff my attack, so it's not going to do that much damage. And Acid Spray just in general doesn't do much damage, but it will debuff their defense by 4 stages, and if they go for the farm down, they won't get there in time, so they do have to throw their energy. Frenzy Plant takes me out. I can now come in with the Serperior, get the farm down. They've got Clefable in the back, and that's going to be an easy matchup for the Serperior, and I'm able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see a Cofagrigus in the lead, so I'm just going to go for a Frenzy Plant straight away. I do wait for one turn, knowing I do outpace them, and making sure they don't catch it onto a Pokemon that does resist grass. But they don't do that, they go straight for a Shadow Ball. I'm now going to swap into my Arbok, go for the farm down, but unfortunately because I'm not running the Shadow, we're not able to farm them down before they make it to another charge move. I shield it up, it is a Dark Pulse, we could have lived that, but I might as well be safe, as they could run Psychic, which probably would one-shot the Arbok. We're now going to go for a Dark Pulse into the Shadow Grimer that comes in. They do make it to a charge move, but that's fine. They're in range where I can Poison Jab, farm them down before they get to another Mud Bomb, so that's what I'm going to go for here. The opponent swaps into a Shadow Machamp, but at this point I think it's going to be game over for the opponent, as we can go for the Poison Fang, debuffing their defense. They're not going to be able to make it to a Cross Chop and a Rock Slide to take me out, so they just concede the match. Into the next battle, we see a Shadow Dusclops in the lead, so pretty tricky lead matchup here, as they can run Ice Punch or Fire Punch, both going to be super effective, but you're going to see here that they don't actually do that much damage, and this Frenzy Plant is still going to chunk this Shadow Dusclops. We go for it there, it does a ton of damage, and now I'm going to swap, try to catch the charge move, but the opponent doesn't throw straight away. They do build up a ton of energy, and they full send a Poltergeist there, so I'm very glad I shielded that up, as that would have nearly taken me out from full health. We're now going to go for a Dark Pulse into the Vigoroth that comes in, and and the opponent lets the Dark Pulse go through. Now, Dark Pulse is non-stab, it doesn't do that much damage, but that's fine. The opponent's going to full send the Bulldoze, taking me out, but I'm hoping they're in range where I can just poison jab, farm them down before they even make it to a body slam, and we're able to do just that, just as they're reaching the body slam, and now we can go for a Poison Fang into the Primeape that comes in, and now this is a pretty comfortable matchup. We just have to shield this up, go for Poison Fang number 2, and if you do remember, we do have a charge move loaded on the Serperior, so we're going to go for the Poison Fang, grab the final shield, swap, go for a Frenzy Plant into this Primeape. Honestly, it could have gone for Leaf Tornado. With the double debuff, it probably would have taken them out, but it doesn't really matter. Frenzy Plant takes them out, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, another Cofagrigus in the lead, and we are potentially going to play this a little bit differently. No, going to go for it exactly the same. Go for the Frenzy Plant, waiting one turn just to make sure they don't catch, and they also throw straight away once again. So, going to let the Shadow Ball go through, swap into my Arbok, and the opponent responds with a Hypno, so not a great matchup for me. And here, I end up throwing on alignment there. I'm not sure what was going on. I think just looking at the animations, it looked like I was slightly out of sync there, but yeah, I ended up throwing on alignment, so we give them a full extra confusion. It doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things, as I wouldn't have made it to another charge move, but it just means I deal less Dragon Tail damage, which is going to be fairly significant here, so I'm going to go for a Leaf Tornado bait. The opponent probably recognizing that we're weak to the Hypno, so we do at least grab a shield. Now they're able to get to another charge move. Fire Punch takes me out, but I can come in with my the Seviper here, and the opponent comes back in with the Cofagrigus. Gonna go for the Poison Fang here. Poison Fang will be enough damage to take them out. We get the Poison Jab farm down, and they've got Clefable in the back. Oh, we're gonna be able to take this game here. We go for the Poison Fang, debuffing their defense, but we don't quite get the farm down. Oh, that is so painful there, but Meteor Mash will take out the Seviper, and we do unfortunately lose that game, but GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see a Haxorus in the lead. We say swap into the Arbok, and we bait out a Vigoroth. So Vigoroth honestly isn't the best counter to us. I'm going to bait with an Acid Spray here, but the opponent does call it, and I found that pretty much every time I went for an Acid Spray, the opponent would let it go through. So I think eventually I just started going for Dark Pulses, but this is probably one of the earlier battles. We go for another Acid Spray, and we do at least grab a shield from them, and I'm happy to let the Arbok go down here, as a Bulldoze does take me out, but now they're in range where I can just Poison Jab, farm them down, and let's see, the opponent comes back in with their Haxorus. I can shield this up, go for a Poison Fang, and this should grab the final shield from the opponent, and now I'm going to try and catch a move onto my Serperior here. We go for the Poison Fang, going to count 1, 2, swap, catch the move perfectly onto the Serperior, and now it all depends, what do they have in the back? They swap into Lurantis, and I'm actually going to go for a Leaf Tornado. It is resisted, but so is Frenzy Plant, and honestly, if we can get the debuff, which we do, now it's going to be a very difficult time for this Lurantis to get the farm down here. They go for a Leaf Blade, they have to throw another one to take me out, and now I can go for a Frenzy Plant, and even though it's resisted, it does do some decent chunk there to the Lurantis. They have to throw another charge move before I get to my own. Leaf Blade takes me out, but now I can come in with the Seviper, go for a full farm down, or if they try to make a catch here, just continue going for those poison jabs. We now have a Poison Fang loaded. We can throw it into Lurantis, and this will be enough damage to take out the Lurantis, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, another Machamp in the lead. So quite a few Machamp in the lead when I was doing these battles. We swap into Arbok, we bait out a Cofagrigus, and now we can go for a Dark Pulse. If they let this go through, I should be able to flip this matchup, but they do use a shield, and now at this point, I don't really care about my Arbok. We did grab a shield advantage. They go for Dark Pulse, which actually doesn't take us out. They get more farm, which is actually more beneficial for the opponent, as they are definitely not in range for me to fully Vine Whip farm them down. So not the best case scenario for me. Gonna let this move go through. It's another Dark Pulse though, so I'm fine with that. We're gonna go for the Frenzy Plant here, throwing straight away as they're very close to yet another Dark Pulse, and they actually use a shield there. They do have the energy for the Dark Pulse, but I'm happy to let this move go through as well. And now they swap into the Machamp. We've got a 2 shield advantage. Gonna start using my shields here. Shield up the charge move, and it is a Rock Slide, so that would have done quite a lot of damage. We're now gonna go for the Poison Fang. It won't quite take them out, but one more Poison Jab should do the job, and let's see what the opponent wants to do now. Gonna wait at the switch clock here and come back in with the Cofagrigus, and at this point I'm happy to shield once, fully farm them down, and hope that I can just Poison Fang and Poison Jab my way through whatever they've got in the back. And it is a Snorlax, a Shadow Snorlax, so this first Poison Fang doesn't do too much damage, but it will start to add up over time, and my opponent recognizes that, so they concede the match. Into the next battle, another Cofagrigus in the lead. I think this is probably the most common lead I saw whilst running this team. And I think just in general, Cofagrigus is a pretty common lead. But we're going to go for the Frenzy Plant once again, throwing straight away. This time the opponent overfarms. I'm still going to let the charge move go through. We will be able to live it. But now I can go for that Leaf Tornado. They are in range where a Leaf Tornado will be enough damage to take them out. But I grab a shield. We also debuff their attack by 2 stages. So even if it's a Psychic, we would live it. But they go for a Shadow Ball. They now come in with a Machamp. We're going to go for that Acid Spray. This will not be enough damage to take them out. By no means there, but we do debuff their defense by 2 stages, and now I can just fully Dragon Tail farm them down, and I should be able to Acid Spray whatever they've got in the back to permanently debuff them when they come in with the Cofagrigus. And it's actually a Grand Ball here, so we can go for that Acid Spray, debuffing their defense by 2 stages. Now we come in with the Seviper, get the farm down, and we take that game. So it does feel great to get our revenge up against that Shadow Granbull that caused me so many problems in my previous video. But into the next battle, we see a Kanto Muck in the lead. Gonna say swap into the Arbok. The opponent goes for an Acid Spray, and then they come in with an Umbreon. So we're gonna go for an Acid Spray of our own. Unfortunately, they will be able to outpace me to their next charge move quite comfortably as well. And they're gonna throw here. And after the Acid Spray, I don't think I even live a foul play, but they do full send the Psychic there. We're gonna come back in with the Serperior, and we're not going to throw straight away. I know Frenzy Plant, even with the debuff, will not be enough damage to take them out from this range, so I farm just before they make it to the next foul play, hoping it takes them out here. But they live with 1 HP, which is really frustrating because I know obviously the Serperior isn't going to do too well up against the Muck that comes in, or a Ninetales that comes in either. But if we had more health, maybe we would be able to clutch this game up. But let's see. The opponent's going to go for a charge move here. They're probably going to swap straight away into Muck to catch the Poison Fang. But I don't really care. I need to debuff their defense somehow. They would probably shield a Crunch if I farm to it. So instead of just going for the Crunch and getting it shielded, I want the guaranteed damage and a guaranteed debuff. But likewise, they can just go for an Acid Spray, debuff my defense, and now I'm not going to be able to live 1 Ember. So even though I've got back-to-back charge moves loaded, the Ember does take me out, and now they can just fully farm me down, and I do unfortunately lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, another Cofagrigus in the lead. Gonna stay in once again, and are we gonna go for the Frenzy Plant? No, this time we actually bait with a Leaf Tornado. I realized that a Frenzy Plant and a Leaf Tornado is required to take them out, so I might as well go for the Leaf Tornado first, because we could debuff their attack. Unfortunately, we don't get that debuff, but it doesn't really matter. I'm now gonna go for the Frenzy Plant, but they might use a shield. They do use a shield, so I swap into my Arbok, and I'm gonna shield as well. They do go for the Psychic, that would have done a ton of damage, but then they swap into Meganium, so that's an interesting choice here. Of course, Meganium could be running Earthquake, and it will be running Earthquake, so they probably do win the zero shield scenario here, but I can safely shield. It is the Earthquake, and now I can commit to the full Dragon Tail farm down. They will make it to a last second Frenzy Plant, but it's not going to be enough damage to take me out, and once again, we have a ton of energy loaded. They come in with Lurantis here, going to go for that Acid Spray, and Acid Spray does get the debuff, and they are barely able to outpace me to the next charge move. Leaf Blade from this range will take out the Arbok, but we've got Seviper, and this is going to be very close. We have no shields remaining here, so I'm going to go for the Poison Fang. Poison Fang will debuff their defense. We go for 1 Poison Jab, we swap, we catch the charge move perfectly onto the Serperior. It is the Psychic, and now they're in range for me to fully Poison Jab, farm them down, and the opponent recognizing there's nothing they can do there. All moves are resisted, so they concede the match. Now into the final battle of this video, another Shadow Machamp in the lead. Gonna say swap into the Arbok, and we do bait out a Shadow Hypno, so not a great matchup for the Arbok, but if we do land the Dark Pulse, that will allow us to flip this matchup, so we force the opponent to use a shield. Potentially I could have gone for Acid Spray there, but I'd rather just guarantee we either get a shield advantage or take out the Hypno, whereas going for Acid Spray is a bit more risky. Now they bait us with a Thunder Punch. I'm going to let this go through. It is the Shadow Ball, but it does mean they're going to take more energy to get to the next charge move. I'm going to go for a Leaf Tornado, knowing this will not be enough damage to take them out, hoping I can get the farm down, but they swap back into Shadow Machamp. We full send the Frenzy Plant. We take out the Machamp from full health pretty much. And now let's see, what do they have in the back? They've got another Shadow Gramble, and once again, so satisfying to see it get melted by the Seviper. We Poison Jab, farm down the Hypno, and we take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.